welcome to Olaf's Oldtimer, episode 2 of how to fix the broken air conditioning or fan or regulator of the fan. As you could see in the last video, we identified the fan inside here somewhere to be the bad guy. So still possibility that it is the regulator. Maybe it's both. So yeah, let's get started. Get some tools. Get it going. Preparation is everything. So A, I think I have the part. B, I have my tools. So that's only, well, actually I believe I only need one Torx tool and 2 different screwdrivers. Probably only one. Only this one. Cross, how do you call it with a cross? This is just to help me to pry some of the electrical connectors open. From last experience, very important, a little cushion when I lie in here with my back on the door sill, and some padded, as you can see, old pizza box, so I don't rub my knees open when I kneel down here and open this up. So first, let's see how the part looks. Ordered in the internet, as I said, 80 something euros from Vallejo, which is, I think, a good brand. I need an extra hand, so let's see. Maybe you can see that it looks about as what we saw in the last video, but of course we will first try to get the old one out and then put this, oh I'm sorry, and then put this beautiful new babe in here. First step, get the screws out from the lid. No, first step, get the seat back. That's nice. In the far back position, so I got enough room to start working in here. We have 3 screws here. 1, 2, 3. Take the screws out, which are Torx. Disconnect the little lamp here. Disconnect the little air quality feeler. Then lose 1 screw of the fan, which is situated here, only from there. So actually this is in the right position as it is now. Disconnect the cables and get the thing out. Sounds easy, job done in 15 minutes. Or so I read in a comment in another YouTube video. Let's see. Only 2 tries to identify the right size Torx. And I'm, by the way, kneeling on my padded knee protection pizza box newspaper, and I can't see a damn thing with my glasses on working down here. So let's start taking this lid off. One. Believe me, these screws are used to this now, because this is where you need to go to change the oil filter, the air filter for the inside of the car, and this is where you need to go to look at the fan. Of course, ignition is out, key is out, I have the screws here, so we can pull this down now. Nice. Nicely done. So here I pull out the whole lamp. Actually, it would be smarter to disconnect it so it doesn't burn all the time. Here, you can see it right. Up here is a little connector for the air inspection, for the air quality. But so far I can't really get there nicely now. I hope you can see it. Okay, and then we can take the cover out if we are smart enough. You can see enough. Okay. So, what you see here is now, can you see it? Yes, you can see it. What you see here is where you put the filter in for the inside of the car. This is the motor. And there's one screw in here somewhere. I think it should go in there, and I don't see it. Is that screw missing? And then the motor itself, this is something else, is only connected with this little plug. And I think now comes the fun part, because I think I need to lean upside down. Actually not upside down, with my back in here to see where the screw for the motor is, so I can turn the motor up. So I better get my screwdriver at hand. I really lost it. It's under the seat. What else did you expect? And okay. Thank God I'm so young, so easy to move. I wonder what this plug is for. Disconnected this. But this is clicked to the fan. I need to readjust so I can find where the fan is screwed on. Oh, and now the dog is coming. Okay, so our dog wasn't a big help in identifying the screw. So I'm coming back in here now. At least that's what I try. You know what? The whole thing, excuse me if I steal the light. It's a different motor. Or is it? I already identified it is the wrong motor that I ordered, or that was sent to me, because this plug is different and the whole thing looks different. Of course, the nicest thing would be if I would manage to get this body out of here, because then I could, well, what could I do? I could see better, I could compare better, but so far I could not identify how to do it. Okay, we need to lose this, not loose, but loosen this, and I wonder if you can see it. Let us look a bit closer here, if you can see it all. Wonder if this is connected or not. At least I think the selection of tools I have is correct. Okay. And all of a sudden we see a direction. Okay. I do understand it now. I'm not 100% sure if you can see what I'm doing, but this needs to be pulled down a bit. Okay. Okay. I got it. Okay. So, I love it. Okay. So, here we are. This is the motor. And now that I have it outside, it looks fitting. Doesn't turn hard. Which makes me think of that the regulator here is the issue, but let's take out the new motor and compare. So, turnabout, same stuff, but we have an issue here still. This plug is not correct. Of course I could take the cables out of this one, put it into this one, but well, one day later, after being pretty disappointed last night because of these two different cable adapters or plugs. I was pretty close to give up, but after now having talked to two experienced mechanics, and one you just saw on a video or soon will see on a video, and one you know well from many videos, they said, don't worry, as long as everything fits, and if it's only this connector plug, just cut them off, put the right one on. So I need this one on this one. Don't worry, it will work. So I risk it, because once I cut this off, I can't send it back to those Valeo guys. And of course I didn't buy it from Valeo, but from a dealer in the internet. I will cut it off and solder it back on, protect it, and then let's see if we still have some daylight outside to put it back in the car. So they can't go a lot wrong, so there's not a lot that can go wrong, and I'll just cut those two off, put this one on that one, as it's defined by the color. As we're working in the kitchen anyway, I'll take this kitchen knife, it's important not to cut it too deep. Of course, I know there's special equipment to do this, which I don't have. That's a big cable, if you want to see it. Heavy duty stuff. Just need a bit of a patience. Do the same on the other side. Don't cut your finger. I'm just talking to myself. Probably the wire is a bit thinner on the new fan, which is not true. It's the same quality. That's good. Same diameter of cable. And it's rather thick, so I wonder if my don't cut yourself, blah blah blah, soldering machine here and of course before putting the stuff on, let's see what size we take. I think we need to have a bit bigger diameter, because in the end we still need to get it over this stuff. So this looks good. So far so good. We want to solder this back together, but first I will put some on it. And then I somehow need to get these two back together. And that's where you need a third hand. But doing it like this, it should work out fine. I should flatten those instead of rolling them up. Let me take a pair of pliers to flatten those a bit so the cover is going to move on more easily. Be back in a second. Two things. This one has a safety latch, plus it wasn't filled. So let's see how it goes. Okay, I think you can see it's on. It's not the best tool in the world, but I guess it's going to do its job. And it's doing it pretty fast. See? Good. So this was number one. And I'll do this with number 2, 3, 4, and I'll see you when I put them back together. Okay. So far, so good. Whole thing turned pretty hot. Still the same day. Of course, I don't have, or there are no such big connectors, but I found another tip. A bigger tip. And here we go again. And I can only hope that this is applying more heat to the whole business. You wanna know what? I give up for tonight. This has been very, very helpful in the past, but for this kind of thick cable, it just doesn't melt the two ends together. So I called my neighbor, and he used to have such a thing, but it's broken. So I'll go to my father tomorrow and get his thing, and I will just look up how you call this soldering machine. And that's electrical, it's bigger, it will be hot enough and I will have this together in a minute, but I don't have that thing here, so sometimes you have to be smart and say, I'll try again tomorrow. I translated soldering iron, solder lead or solder, and this is soldering. Soldering iron. Sorry. As you can see, I have a proper soldering iron here now, borrowed from my father. And it took maybe 5 seconds to solder these two together. I just wonder how you can see this best now, how I do it. So I convinced my little dog here to be quiet. Let's see how that went. I added some more solder in the meantime. Learning by burning. So let's see. So I think this is good enough. So if in the end the motor does not work, that would be a shame. That would be a true shame. We will do this professionally. Give me a second. Sorry for the noise. Good, let's install it. So, welcome back. We had the car out of the garage. We have the fan here. We have our power tools here. 2 different screwdrivers, which I guess we won't need. And now I try to get into here and hope I can install that sucker. And then, of course, I wish it's going to work. Okay. Try to remember. How this is going to slide in.
So this does not look too bad. Please excuse a barking dog. In the back here, there's another cable. That did sound good so far. Everything matches. This is supposed to go back on here. This is supposed to connect here. Can you see anything at all? I hope you can. Can you? You can. You know what? I'm pretty afraid of starting this up. I'm really afraid. Well, I'll climb out of the car and I will try to start it up. And then we can think about how to fix these cables. Wish me luck. I'm so damn nervous. So let's see. It started up once and it's falling back into no action at all. That tells me, well, let's start the engine just to give it some sufficient power. The fan is turning, but not as it is supposed to do. You know what? I need to change the regulator as well. The fan is doing what it's supposed to do, so it is turning. But not good enough. Like now it should run on full steam. And it doesn't. I don't know if you can hear it turning, but it's not blowing enough. Good. I will get down there again, turn out the regulator to get to a better result. Still not solved. Dang. Good night for tonight. Good. Part 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know. My last try to get the aircon here going. Today the new regulator module arrived. It's absolutely identical. Even this little
don't know if you can really read it. This number here is identical to the original regulator from Beer. This is from Metzger. It's going to be a tool-free zone because it's only to screw in. I'll do it and I hope everything works. If not, the car is going to a mechanic. One remark before we got this going. As you know, the whole channel is absolutely commercial free. It's not when you see it, but I don't get anything, not for any tool or car or whatever I mention. Just wanted to mention to you this little light which goes onto the GoPro camera. It's super practical, unless you lose it because it's so small, but it clips right on the camera, and it will be also my light for working on this car. So super practical and helpful. So now please, fingers crossed. Really don't like the working up here, and last time I was working down here. When I was done, I noticed I took a picture. So from my last tinkering here, there was no video. So I'm sorry, I got stuck here a bit. Not so sure if you can see. I think you can see it. So right above my head is the little location. And this one goes in. There's a little arrow. And now I need not another picture. I need another flashlight. Yep, that's it. So I plug this regulator in, the new one. Click. As you could see, I attached those wires professionally. Everything is hooked up. The motor is in, the regulator is in. Let's get the thing started and then hopefully just add the lid and we're done. Okay, let's turn the media off and on. Huh. Thank God, it seems to work. It works. From the sound of the motor, I think it's vibrating a bit more than the original one. But then I didn't put the lid back on, but everything seems to work. I fixed it. It was the regulator and maybe it was the motor too, so now both components are changed. I'm pretty damn happy that we finally got it going. So, well now. Thanks for watching. Sorry if it was boring for you.
For me, it was a big lesson that I learned. But it worked. In the end, I didn't have to go to a costly garage, namely Mercedes, and I fixed it myself. So thanks for watching. Stay safe and healthy. Have a great night. Bye.